I'm going to do another book review over a book that I just finished and I honestly loved it, called Divisa. It was a very good book. It's a 5-book book series. The first 3 books are from the female character's perspective. The 4th book is through the male character's perspective, and then the last book goes back and forth in between the 2. So, Divisa is basically about Angel Morgan. It's another one of those books that has the female character moving to a small town. She basically had, her and her mom are trying to start over, based off of the fact that a tragic, heartbreaking incident happened with her father. So her and her mother basically moved to the small town of Spring Valley, Illinois, to just start over. You know, it's one of those old classic plots, you know, mom and daughter starting over somewhere completely opposite from what they're used to, and basically just trying to start a new life, which indeed she does. It's something about authors nowadays and taking that little plot and making it have to do with supernatural beings. Angel, of course, is human. She's basically just your average teenage girl, senior in high school, just trying to make it to the next step. And this character, she's she's 17 in the beginning of this book. Purely just a gamer chick, you know, getting used to being in a small town with horrible cell phone service, horrible internet service. The house she moved into, she feels like it's old, creepy, and haunted, which is totally opposite of what she's used to. Basically, it's very similar to the novel Obsidian, the Obsidian series, because when she meets her neighbors, of course, she tries to become fast friends with the sister. The guy's moody, broody, of course, and that's her cousin. That's the female's cousin. Who else? So her neighbors are basically a household. There's a dad who is the father to the sister Lexi. And then she has a brother, Travis, who he's the older brother. And then she has a cousin who lives with her, who's Chase. So it's the dad, Devin, his 2 kids, Travis and Lexi. And then you have her cousin, Lexi and Travis's cousin, Chase, who's the same age as Lexi. Hope I didn't lose you there. When I first read it, it took me a minute to get used to it, because usually it's just, you know, siblings or just a family. But the fact that they have Chase being the cousin, they're basically like siblings. They were all raised together. But so you have Angel, her mom, you have Devin, his 2 kids, and Lexi is same age as Chase. Chase is her cousin. As you can already figure out, they're the supernatural beings, the Divisas. And then you have humans living next door, small town, Spring Valley, Illinois. How Will writes it, you are drawn in from the very first chapter. I mean, most books that I've been reading lately, they kind of teeter-totter and slowly get good as you near the climax. But straight out the gate, this book, full of action, full of comedy. I found myself actually, when I was reading, laughing out loud. And, like, yeah, I'm an active reader. I fully get involved within the book. But this book had me laughing, had me giggling, had me screaming, had me really into it as if I was watching a movie. So I would definitely say check it out. It only took me about a week to get through it, and it's about 775 pages long. And the way that it ends, it gives you full closure, so you're not wondering, oh wow, I wonder what happens to Angel. I wonder what happens to Chase. Do they die? Do they live? You know, does the secret of the Divisas get out? You know, it's very dynamic. Very, very well written. To be honest, the only thing I did not like was I did not like how she starts switching the perspectives towards the end of the series. Like for the first 3 books, you are Angel. You are understanding where she's coming from. You feel like you're making the decisions with her. But then once I got to the 4th, I got confused because then she introduces Chase's perspective. And I was like, I don't think we really needed his perspective. His character is very outspoken. So I felt like I was already getting the full story through Angel's perspective. Whereas once I was reading the book as Chase, it was a little bit confusing for me because then I was like, okay, now I'm seeing things through his eyes that I didn't really felt like I needed to see. And then at that point, it almost made me not want to read it because I was like, I don't really care how you feel. You were already outspoken enough. I didn't really need a whole book with your inner monologue and then your outer monologue. It just made everything a little bit too much because then I kind of missed Angel's perspective and Angel's thoughts and Angel's feelings and emotions with what was happening. So that was the only thing I kind of missed. The last book saved it completely because then I'm guessing when she released it, I guess the critiques, she took it to heart. I'm guessing. I don't know because I'm kind of late to reading this book. I felt like the 5th book saved it because she was doing the whole new thing, which was going back and forth between Angel Chase. So then you got both perspectives. Trying so hard not to spoil it because I literally just finished reading it like yesterday and I was so eager to do this review, but I'm like, wait, I don't do spoilers because I want them to read it and fill in the blanks themselves. But nothing meets the eye. So when you're reading, just remember these words: nothing is as it seems. There's a lot more to it than you know. Keep reading, even during the slow parts. Keep reading. It's very cutesy. It's very fun. It's not like teeny bop-ish. It's very young adult. Like how they handle things is not like, oh my goodness, I feel like teenagers are really handling this scenario. There's actually some smart decision making as well. I love how everything's realistic. It's not full fantasy. Like if someone was handling, like if you were human and somebody, you know, revealed that they were supernatural, like how what Will writes it, you feel like, yeah, that's how I would react if something like this were to happen. It doesn't feel like, when I was reading, it didn't make me think, would I do that? Is that, would Angel really do that? Would she really react that way? Would she be calm? Would she, you know, it's more realistic. Everything that happens to Angel, I love the character Angel. Like, she was very relatable. Like, everything she says or thinks is relatable. Like, you feel like, wow, I understand where she's coming from, if that makes sense. But, the novels themselves were not very, they weren't long to the point where as you're reading, you're like, okay, get on with it. I was reading it, and the next thing you know, wow, book 1 ended. I was like, oh, okay, let's keep going. Like, it was, and then it was cohesive. The one thing I mentioned on a previous book review is I hate it when you're reading books and it's like, oh, book 2, 2 months have passed. No, she actually keeps it going. Again, I hope this influences you to check out and try to figure out what a Divisa is, because I'm not going to tell you, because once I figured it out, it surprised me what it is. I hope this influences you to check it out and read it for yourself. I will be putting a link to the book down below, so that way you can just click it, order it, and don't have to worry about it. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope you find the Divisas mysterious enough to go buy it. Again, it's a good book. I might check out another Wheel novel to see if all of her books are this amazing. And again, if you're into supernatural, Twilight Zone, love, rom-comish, check it out. Thanks.